Hello and welcome to the Game Guru's Final Fantasy Shadowbringers Dungeon Guide. My name is Sheil and today we're going to dive into Holminster Switch, which is the first dungeon you'll encounter in the new expansion. The trash does not have any noticeable difficult abilities, just stay clear of the AoE ground attacks and you'll be just fine. Forgiven Dissonance is the first boss players will encounter in the dungeon. Path of Light will be cast frequently throughout the fight, and it is a party-wide AoE. Stay near your healer and get ready to pop some AoE heals. Pillory is your tank buster. Use mitigation cooldowns to avoid taking a good chunk of damage. Brazen Bull will summon 4 orbs in a single file line that will then telegraph abilities in multiple directions. Find the safe areas and avoid taking damage. Gibbet Cage will be casted periodically, which is a short-range AoE that will force you to move away from the boss. Additionally, Thumbscrew, which is a frontal charge, will be used by the boss and will limit even more of the encounter area. In addition, the boss will use Wooden Horse, which is a large AoE cone attack that needs to be avoided. Find the safe spots and let the abilities cast out. All these will start to ramp up in speed and frequency as the fight goes on. Avoid these abilities will take some practice, but the key is this. During Brazen Bull, the safe spot will normally be on the opposite end of the area, in the middle of the 4 orbs. Pay attention to which ability is cast first because you will have to move into the area once the AoE telegraph has faded. After clearing some more trash, players will arrive at Teslin, the Forgiven. The Tickler is our tank buster. Players will need to use damage reduction cooldowns to help the healers because they'll be busy dealing with other mechanics throughout the fight. Scold's Bridle is another party-wide AoE. Be sure to use any personal damage reduction abilities and stay near your healers. This fight features quite a bit of party damage. Fevered Flagellation is a party-wide damaging ability that will hit each party members in a specific order, telegraphed by the icons over their head. The 1 single symbol is hit first, the 4 symbols are hit last. Be sure to spread out or you will be sharing another member's damage. Soon after, Exercise will be cast on a player. Stack on this player to split the damage amongst the party. The next ability, Exercise, will start by forecasting 4 pool locations around the players, and at the end of the cast, drop 1 pool under the stack, followed up by dropping the 4 at the marked locations. Move out quickly and rinse and repeat until victorious. My only tip here is to spread out in all 4 corners with Fevered Flagellation. Then stack in the middle for Exercise. Drop the 5th pool in the middle, allowing you room on the outsides to rearrange. At this point, we've almost made it to the end. Clear the short trash up to the last boss, Light Warden Philia. This boss does pack a punch for the tanks, along with its tank buster, Head Crusher. Use mitigation as needed. As always, we have yet another party-wide AoE ability called Scavenger's Daughter. Pop defensives and heal through the damage with AoE healing. The first ability that will keep you on your toes is called Pendulum. This ability will target the tank first and then leap into the center. The tank should run in the opposite direction of the group while using any mitigations to stay alive, while the rest flee to the edge of the encounter area. Chain Down will select a random party member and root them in place. In addition, Aethersup will begin to cast on the chain target. Break your teammate out and move out of the frontal cone. The next ability is a bit more complicated. Right knock and left knock will happen one right after another. It's tough to predict because it covers a large area and will not be displayed on the ground until the very last second. Identify where the boss is facing when he raises his arm, and if he is doing his right knock, stand behind his left arm, but be sure to move to his right arm next because he will knock the opposite area next. Vice versa with the left knock, move to his right arm, then move to his left arm. Tayphobia will be placed on all party members, spread out and don't overlap circles, and heal through the damage. Into the Light is another stacking ability and is mitigated best if you move into a single line, but it is not punishing enough that a sloppy stack can't be healed through. Fierce Beating is one of the last abilities and the more difficult one in the dungeon. The boss will display a directional pattern at the base while casting, identifying how he will rotate. You must stay on the side of the boss at all times as he rotates around the encounter area. The damage will come from his frontal slam, followed up by the rear with his tail swipe. If you do end up getting caught behind or in front of the boss, be sure to use any movement speed increases and damage reduction cooldowns trying to outrun it, and whatever you do, don't run through the center. That concludes the first dungeon of Shadowbringers, and in my opinion was a great introduction to the 4-man dungeons in the newest expansion. If you found this guide to be helpful, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more Final Fantasy PvE and crafting guides, tips and tricks, news, and other videos. My name is Sheil, and whether it's magic, mystery, or mayhem, remember, the Game Gurus are here for you.